This is Hannibal back here from the HannibalTV.com with a daily wrestling news update. NXT last night was up in ratings. It was a spring bit break special, zero point 0.2 rating. Apparently, Natalia is now in NXT, and we've seen a lot of wrestlers who have been called down to NXT disappear after. So I don't think that's going to happen with Natalia. She's one of the best divas of all time, and I'm pretty sure they would use her as a female agent. But good to see that an episode that she's on is up in ratings. John Moxley, the IWGP World Champion, a wrestler that I like, told Sports Illustrated he's on a handshake deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, he is under contract to AEW, that has an extensive deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Obviously, he is defending the New Japan IWGP title against Powerhouse Hobbs tonight. Now, am I the true IWGP champion since I pinned AJ Styles twice in one night back when he was IWGP champion in 2014? I don't know. I'm just kidding. But I would like to really wrestle John Moxley. Billy Corgan, who was bragging months ago that the NWA and was going to have a TV show on a major network, on a national network, and he also claimed that he would have a reality show on a television network too. It's now come out that it's going to be called Billy Corgan's Adventures in Carneyland for the reality show, and it's only going to be on the CW app, which, by the way, you guys can tell me what you think, but I think I don't know if it's an exclusive deal they have with the app or what, but ever since they've moved to the app, you hear almost nothing about NWA other than surprise, surprise, here's another announcement. The reality show that was supposed to be on TV is only on this app. And I think they've always had, like, instead of just putting their content out free on YouTube regularly for a while, like it was under a paywall on Fight, and now it's like on an app that I don't even know if that app exists in Canada. And I think you have to have the CW network to get the app. I'm not sure, but you never hear. I couldn't even tell you who the NWA champion is. EC3 was the last one. Who I don't know. I don't. I think he beat Tyrus for it, but Tyrus was getting a lot. As much as people hated Tyrus when Tyrus was champion, there was a lot more buzz about the NWA, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because I used to be roommates with him. He was wearing it on Fox, and a lot of people were complaining about it that didn't like him, but at least there was talk, and you would see NWA in the news. This thing about Corgan's reality show being on the app is the first thing I've seen about the NWA in the news in a while, and that's kind of disappointing news because people were speculating that it might actually still be on TV. But as far as the three major companies, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics did a podcast on this channel, Business of the Business, with John Paz and Levy, I think his name is. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Who seems to be a very smart guy, to be honest with you, and know a lot about the insides of wrestling. And the interesting thing that they were talking about in one post is who's number three. And the reality is, it's kind of a tie for number three between Women of Wrestling, which usually gets between a zero point 0.4 and zero point 0.6 rating. So by far, it's killing New Japan and TNA in ratings, and it's even beating Dark Side of the Ring usually gets around zero point 0.4, zero point 0.5. But it's funny because hardly anyone talks about WOW or reports on it. I don't know who the champion is. I don't even know who's in it. But they get good ratings because people, I guess, like watching girls wrestling. TNA usually gets a 0.01 or less rating, and it came out in that same podcast that they average only 200 fans an event last year, which is pretty bad for a television company. But still, TNA, people talk about it a lot, I guess, because it used to be really popular. It's under new management now. I wish them the best. I hope they get more popular. I think they still have some house cleaning to do. And then New Japan apparently gets an even less rating than TNA. It's also on Access, but they don't run as often as TNA in the US, but they draw much better than TNA. So if you look at it from a rating standpoint for the third company, WOW is by far the closest to AEW and WWE in ratings. If you look at it from an attendance standpoint, New Japan on average kills TNA in attendance, and I don't even know what WOW gets in attendance. They don't really go to big places. It's more of a TV company. So yeah, it's a tie really at third place for who's the most popular. But as far as like what the public thinks is third, most would say TNA or New Japan, just because people don't talk about WOW. But from a business standpoint, they're doing pretty damn good in ratings. And they also mentioned that same podcast is like AEW is taking all of New Japan's top stars. So yes, they're working together and stuff. And it's a good, in a way, it's good for New Japan, but in another way, AEW signing all their top stars. So is New Japan still going to have first crack at all of those stars? Yard Pimp says salute to you too. Although I'm certainly not drinking anytime soon because I am training. Been having great workouts. I haven't even had a day off in like 13 days from working out, and I'm feeling great and seeing progress every day. Training for Napanee, Ontario. Schools Out Slam, about 2 hours from Toronto, 2 hours from Ottawa. Saturday, June 28th. I will be returning to the ring for this. Paul Roma is going to be there. Mario Mancini. Angel Medina from ECW. It's going to be ladies wrestling. Jumping Jack Kilby will also be there with the big money players. What's up, David? What's new with me? I'm training hard and working hard and doing very well. Appreciate you asking. Wish you all a wonderful evening. Please give this video a thumbs up.